Yeah, make sure you tag me in that boy.
For sure, for sure. All right, let me drop this out here real quick. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna just tag you in that one and drop that real quick, and then we going. So yeah, it was a couple things. Anyway, let me first start off and goddamn it, say welcome. You know what I'm saying? It's nice here. I know we had a little break, couple times there. We had a few things going,
Yes,
but I just
sir.
wanted to say, goddamn it, welcome back for both of us. You know what I'm saying? You
Absolutely.
took a little. I took a little hiatus for some family shit. And congratulations again on your upcoming success you got there. You know what I'm saying with your young man. That's something I don't think we appreciate enough. And I know we've talked a couple times about how we don't necessarily support the right shit. So
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
this is me giving you the support I give you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not there. I can't be there. If I had noticed and everything was right, I would have loved to you know what I'm saying, attend that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we got a couple topics, right? So one we talked about was the how do I want to say it interracial dating, but this is gonna come from a different perspective, especially from me. I've heard a lot of dudes who say if you date, like they feel like if you date a white chick, you win, right? And forgive
Mhm.
me if I'm hot and sweaty, lights on, and I just came out the gym, so
No,
you
it's
know what I'm
all
saying.
good.
But
It's all good.
um, I struggle with that, right? I've always struggled with dudes who played that game, right? Because you know having an interracial relationship, people who feel like having a white woman is the best shit ever immediately look at me and assume I feel the same, right?
Right.
And I'm quick to put on. Listen, I feel like I'm winning for who my woman is, not for what she is,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so I see these brothers, and this is brothers posting, you know, and they you know posting these white women, you winning this, that, and the other, and I'm just like, you know, I commented because I do want to have that conversation about the older chicks that get mad about the shit, but I commented on my guy shit. 'Cause I'm like, bro, you know, it isn't so much that everybody's mad at you,
Uh-huh.
but you get on here and you post and you big up chicks based purely on skin color, right? You don't know shit about the character. So I know some bust down motherfuckers just happen to be white, right? Like I know some hood rats that's white. I know some easy goings that's you know it don't matter what
Yeah.
the color
Yeah.
is. You just don't automatically win. And I've
So is
had
he
over.
is he saying that purely based on what he is seeing or what he's experiencing?
I don't believe it's experience, bro, because he's got a white chick, but he be on Facebook crying about how she don't post him this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And
Say he crying about what?
she don't post pictures of him and all this other shit. You know, it's just kind of weird to me, right? But he's just one of the hundreds of motherfuckers I done met throughout the years who have this belief, bro. And I just, you know, people come to me. I remember once I was out with one of my used to be homies. I don't fool with him no more for some other reasons. But and we out and he said something. He's like, man, I don't fuck with black chicks, bro. White bitches is this and this and black chicks. I said, bro, you talking to the wrong one, right? Because although I've been married in an interracial relationship for 30 plus years, I still understand no matter who we lay down with, we're gonna put out black people, right? Or you know what I'm saying? Our children are going to gonna have our DNA, right? And
Mhm.
if you black women come in all different flavors, all different colors, all different, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
hues. Um,
Well, I think it's important that you kind of state your position on the construct of on the racial construct. I think it's important to kind of add that context. I mean, um, how do you look at that? Do you when you break down the construct of race, just from your own your own experience, where do you stand on it?
as far as what? Be a little more specific. I want to make sure I answer the question. I'm not understanding the question right.
Okay, no, that's my bad. So I guess what I'm asking is per this conversation, what we're talking, what we're getting ready to get into. I think it's important that when you talk about black women come in all different forms or whatnot. Um, is black to you? Is that a real thing?
No, not at
Or
all. I'm saying that because that's how people relate. I had this
okay,
conversation with my boy. I'm like, black is something we only really have in America, right? It's something
right,
we kind of
yeah,
make up. So I'm
yeah,
talking to people in that aspect, right?
right,
I look at people again. It's more heritage and culture than
right,
skin color, right? But in America, this is how it is, right?
right.
You know what I'm saying? They say if you got 2% black, you black, right? And so
Right. Okay. Okay.
so that's what I
All
mean.
right. Okay. All right.
I don't like the. I wish we could unsubscribe from African American, and because I'm just as American as everybody else born after me and before me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's where we at.
Okay. All right.
But I don't. So skin tone, I'll change it to skin tone. I don't understand how people, especially, and again, we like what we like, right? I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm probably not more attracted to women with the features my wife have versus somebody else. That's just what I've been around my whole life, right? It's so cool to have your preference, but to talk about it like if I pick a chick based on the color of her skin, I'm automatically winning is a false story that too many brothers is spitting out. And I know a lot of people went through a lot of shit who've dealt or tried to deal with black women and didn't get where they wanted to go with them. But just the craziness that I saw. And we talked briefly about it when Caitlin Clark had won the had beat old girl in from LSU. Motherfuckers was throwing out all kind of black people, so-called black folk, was throwing out all kind of crazy, crazy racial shit. I'm just like, man, it's somewhere we got lost. And again, I know it sounds crazy coming from me, but reality is reality, right? Everything I live is based on something other than what y'all see, right?
Right.
So when somebody looks at me and says, well, you married to a white woman, it has zero to do with the fact that she's white, right? And everything to do with the type of person he was. But people see that, and when they feel a certain way, they come to me and think we're on the same page, right?
Okay. So can you explain the difference in between, like, when you say that on one hand you saying that it's really about who your wife is, right? But then you did mention that you may be more attracted to the features that your wife has. Is that
Absolutely 100%. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I was a younger dude, I struggled because I'm like, man, why do I like these little chubby white girls? Like I used to struggle with that shit, bro. When I was young, right? I'm like mentally, I don't want to, but this is what I find the most attractive.
so when you say chubby white, I mean, is it what's part of it?
That was what grabbed my eyes, right?
Is it?
But
I'm
that's
saying,
just
is it more? Is it
I
more?
can't explain it, bro. I can't. It's no different than.
But I'm saying, is it that specific combination, or is it like I'm saying, okay, if she was just white, no chubby, or
it didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me. Right? It was a combination.
Okay,
right?
so it's that actual.
It was a combination. Again, forgive me. I know
Okay.
I'm sweating my ass off. I'm
No,
fresh out the gym. So,
I just wanted, okay.
but no, it was that combination, bro. And
Have you? So you saying you don't really know. You ain't never felt necessary for you to kind of just sit with yourself and kind of figure out really.
Nah, it's
why?
what it is, bro. I remember, as crazy as it was, I remember in Harrison School, right, first grade, I saw we had a teacher named Miss Kenny, white chick. She was blonde hair, little chubby. I was like, she's pretty as hell. It's something. I feel like this. I don't know what controls what we like, right?
Okay.
I'm a firm believer of you. You are something in your programming makes you like what you like, regardless of what it is.
Okay.
But you don't have to shit on other things, right? You're not winning because you like this. Because I've met a whole bunch of women that fit that perspective that I wouldn't waste 30 seconds on.
Okay, so
right?
let's get into the why, the why based on what they're saying, what these men that
I'm going to give you my opinion.
But what they're saying their why is first.
I don't give them a chance to explain to me the why, right? Because you're saying some shit I'm on the far end of disagreeing with you on. I don't want to understand your why, right? And maybe I'm just closed-minded.
Why don't you think that's important in the conversation?
Because I'm not going to associate with people like that, right? So when that conversation come up,
to you is irrelevant. But I'm saying for even this conversation.
Okay, so it is important, right, for this conversation, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts.
Okay,
I think a lot of people, and I think a lot of people have struggled, right, chasing a woman of a certain type and not getting the results they want, and we are all human. At a certain point, right? If I every white dude I see punch me in the face, I'm gonna start having a real questionable, feeling about white dudes, right? Right. And so I think with a lot of dudes, and it has nothing to do with the women nationality in general. It's the one they shot at, right? You went for some chicks that weren't into you repeatedly. You get scorned a little bit, and now you want some other shit. Or the part we don't ever talk about is your mama was a bad example, right? And you saw your mom's as what she was, right?
Right.
And that skewed you.
But that's why I think the why is important, because these factors matter. It's important to the context, because it can't just be, if we reduce it to just race, then it's gonna become a ridiculous conversation.
But I mean, again, what's being said is purely racial, right? And that's the crazy part. Like they're qualifying them as winning purely based on, I'm gonna say skin color because
But
you can.
do you really think it's that, or do you think they're masking it as that?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's masking. It's masking 100%.
Okay. Okay.
Right, and you'll
All
hear
right.
me say it in everything. It's a self defense mechanism for a lot of people when we don't get
Okay.
what we want.
Right.
Right, we start to make it sound like what we wanted initially was bad.
So do you think they really believe it then? Do you
I
think?
think they're trying to convince themselves of it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Right, I
I
think
can
they're
see
trying
that.
to convince themselves of it. I have a
Okay.
conversation with one of my guys all the time, right? Because we have this conversation. He prefers black women, right? And I will never knock nobody for whatever your preference is. Like I said, everybody prefers what they prefer. Um, but he's like, man, bro, if this don't work out, I'm done. And to me, that's weird to me, right? Like, because whatever you get next, you didn't really want. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
or what you have you don't really want.
I mean, it could be that too. But if you're telling me this is what I want, right?
Man, look, but not that, and I don't even want to get off on a tangent on this, but I mean, if you go back to like some of our earlier conversations when you were saying, and when we talk about it from a sexual standpoint, that some men, this is all they can get, right? So if this is all you can get, or all you qualify for, as far, because you could only relate. Some men are so shallow that they can't relate to anything outside of what they're used to. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right, right.
but you can mask that as, hey, I only rock with black women. Well, you know what I mean? If that's all you really confident in approaching, or if all, you know what I mean? Like, then,
I'm with you. Because I had a
so
homie who was like, man, I don't even know how to talk to white chicks. I'm like,
that's
you
what I'm
just say
saying.
words.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying.
right. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
But yeah, but go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, bro. So for me, it's weird because again, I never gave him a chance to. I didn't dig into the why. Right? Had I known this is where I would end up podcasting and all that shit, I would have dug into the whys a lot.
Yeah.
But for me, it was very off-putting to hear somebody say that because there were two reasons. One, I felt a certain type of way, like, damn, you think I'm the same way. That's why you said that to me, right? Because I'm assuming you ain't saying this to everybody you meet. You look at my situation, you're like, man,
Yeah.
he probably the same way. Like, bro, I have no animosity, no angst, no nothing towards anybody, right? It's gotta be you as the individual,
Yeah.
right? And I guess if you hang out in the right places, you can, you know what I'm saying, your view can get skewed, right? If you hang out in the right areas on the internet and all you see is
Yeah.
motherfuckers that look like a certain way and talking shit, you might say, all right? But you gotta back, because the internet ain't real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that
Right.
go
Well, we
round and
know that.
round,
We know that,
it's
but
it's crazy, bro. But no, I think it's very interesting, right? Because I've had women say to me, black women specifically, "You must hate your mom." And like, nah, this is just who I like, right? And that's just the
right.
extent of it for me, right? I don't give a fuck really what nobody say. Uh,
Yeah, but would you agree that even though it don't apply to you, in some cases it can be true?
so it took me until 2024, bro. I'm gonna keep it real to realize, and I don't know if it was our conversation or what, but I realized it's a lot of brothers hurting, but they mad at moms, right? Like, I commented on this chick's shit today on Facebook. She said something, and I'm like, she said a lot of men have mom complexes, and I'm like, man, I didn't realize that was so serious. But when thinking about it,
Man,
right,
right.
as I started to kind of talk more and listen to dudes who talked about how moms kept dad away, right, when they were little, this, that, and the other, I'm like, okay, that shit that's some
Hey,
serious shit
bro.
too.
So that's that, and that conversation is so layered that we need to unpack it in different multiple conversations.
Right, right.
So let's definitely bookmark that, because that has to be a conversation that's had. The relationship between so-called black men and their moms. All the different layers of traumas and complexes that come through those relationships when they're unhealthy and when they're not inhabited by a healthy father figure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
because I think it segues directly into what we're talking about right now. To me, it's somewhere along the lines that has to play a role. Wouldn't you think?
I can see moms, sisters, but I always look at it as probably girlfriend experiences, right? That's how I look. I could be wrong, right? But that's how I looked at it up until recently. Like I said, it took me talking to different cats who've been through situations that I didn't go through to say, man, I never really thought about it. Like, we don't ever say moms was fucked up. Like, that's just damn near against rules in our community,
Yeah, right.
right? But it's a lot of cats that have fucked up moms, right? I got a homie, bro. God damn it, his mom was on that shit, bro. That was
Man, Look,
right?
that's why I said this. We gonna go left if we start having this
Right,
conversation
right,
because
right.
it's so important. But based on what you were saying, I guess my question then becomes, what is what is really your response to them? Like what is if the why don't even matter to you, then what is the point of even having a response to
I, I,
them at
I
all?
just I just say, listen, understand that your daughter's gonna be the same women you hate, right? I just want to put something
Uh,
in your head because to me, you have to realize that you are creating a monster, right? How do you hate or say you hate something or despise something, but you also can create that,
so
right?
these are men that's saying literally they have a problem with black women.
They think they are the worst fucking creation, and I'm like, man. And again, and having this conversation and thinking about it, it probably was moms. Moms was probably fucking horrible.
Is it black women in America or is it black
Well,
women?
okay, so these are American men who don't even look outside of America, right? Outside of America don't exist to a lot of cats.
Okay.
So it's American black women. Let me be
Okay.
specific, right?
Which black women is are really in as far as we're concerned, this
Right, because they're
conversation.
not black outside of America. They
Right.
are,
So
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Right.
yeah.
It's
Uh,
nationality and ethnicity and shit like that, right?
okay.
African of African descent, but European born. You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, bro. It's an interesting thing to dig into to try to figure out what. So now I'm a little more nosy, right? To try to figure out what drives it. I see one cat post nothing but white chick after white chick after white chick, and I'm just like, you got a chick, number one, so that's a little strange to me. You posting all these chicks, but I'm just like, you ain't seen nothing darker than that you like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's weird to me, bro.
So now I'm over here like I'm over here like even contemplating it or analyzing it from a personal standpoint. Even in and I for right now, I mean, this is a conversation I probably have to introduce to you
Right, right,
offline
right.
first. You know what I mean? But I mean, just I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, do you think it has something to do with confidence?
I do as well, and that's something I can absolutely speak to. I think I'm going to use so-called black women, right? I'm going to use that in our community are used to more of a masculine man, right? Now our definition of masculine might be some bullshit, right?
Right.
The
Like
definition
more aggressive then, more
more aggressive, more outgoing, more flashy,
challenging. Yeah,
right?
like
More
so.
materialistic,
Yeah.
right? And
Um.
and a lot of cats don't have that, right?
Right. Right. I think as far as their qualifications, oftentimes that's all they can. They require that they have to have that because they can't function with
Right,
anything other than that. Oftentimes, not you
right.
know.
We are never speaking in absolutes, right?
Right.
But and I think so. I think that confidence or that perceived masculinity, perceived confidence that they're looking for, a lot of these dudes don't have. But and this is something, and I've always said to my guys, I'm like, listen, even some of the weakest brothers look strong to some other people,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
are stereotypes matter, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these cats get no love, no action, but it's the chicks they get no love and no action from are the chicks they probably shouldn't be fucking with in the first place. Right? Like let's keep it real. If she's looking for a ball or looking for a drug dealer, looking for a flashy dude, why do you want that kind of woman? Because what I'm hearing is if your shit get tight at all, she out the door. Right?
Yeah.
Because what she's
Yeah.
looking for, right,
Right.
is
Man.
not what it's not you, right? And it's the same thing I tell my homie about being a passport bro. I'm like, bro, it's about if you can't go to Dubai and do the same shit you can do in Thailand, it's not you, bro. It's the money,
Right. Right.
right? And
You're an opportunist.
right, and I'm not even mad at you for that, right?
Right.
But
Right.
don't pretend that you getting treated better because of who you are,
Yeah. I get it. I
right?
get what you're saying now.
So show
Yeah.
up and go in the fields with them cats over there and see if you get picked.
Right. Because you are if you are who you are, you that wherever you go.
You gonna get it wherever you go,
Yeah.
right? And you also not gonna get it wherever you go if that's who
Right.
you are. So,
Right. Yeah.
but nah, I think
So now I think like we might have to have this conversation in a different way. Like I would actually like to have some, at least a couple men who actually think like that on the platform. Maybe they, I think is if you're gonna post that, if you're gonna stand on that, then you definitely willing to stand on it.
nah,
On
people
it.
ain't standing, but I'm a request it. I'm gonna
Well, then,
request it.
well, then I'm saying then if that's the case, then we know that it's not real. Then if you, I mean,
I
if
mean, a
this
lot
is
of
what
people
you,
won't stand on the shit they say, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just um who you know what I'm saying, just who they are. It just, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not. I mean, people on Facebook, on social media, in general
Yeah.
are portraying a lot of bullshit,
Right,
right?
right. I hate that, man. I like to have real conversations. You know what I mean?
It's a different
it's
world,
not
bro.
hard for me. I would even though I don't subscribe to you know the construct of race of racial racism at this point. Like I understand the concept, right? And I know
Right.
that it's a program that we have to kind of, you know, I guess adhere to a certain extent. I'm saying that I would still want to have a conversation with a person that doesn't look like me who who is embedded in in that construct. I you know I oh so a Klans member
Hey,
like
it's a brother that did that, bro. He's done that a lot. I don't know if you've seen him or not, if you follow him. He used to go. He's a reporter, but he used to go like KKK meetings and shit, right, to the little rallies, I don't meetings, whatever you want to call that shit, and embed himself in that shit, right? Not hiding, not pretending. And his goal was to understand people. And as crazy as it is, one of his best friends is a former Klansman, right? He changed dude in just purely
former.
conversation.
Do you believe in that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe because my beliefs have changed over the years on a lot of shit, right?
Okay, okay.
Right. Um,
But I'm saying, okay,
right. We are taught everything that we know until we
yeah,
old enough to learn it for ourselves.
I'm okay with changing like your behaviors and like when you recognize like, hey, I gotta change my behaviors because now I realize what this really is, right? But
Right.
if I speak for myself, purely for myself,
Right.
I've changed a lot of behaviors and I have embraced the power of changing, you know, of changing my mind and being open to different things. But things that are embedded in me, they are embedded in me. Like they're, you know what I'm like. I think it's true for most of us. Meaning, like it is almost a natural reflex for if a person, a so-called white person, asserts themselves with me in any way. My first thought is that you got me fucked up. You know, you on some when I know, but I know better though. I know that's when I had to realize like, you know what, that part doesn't even matter.
Right. Because he gonna do it
If
anyway.
right, so I'm saying, but I'm like, even that's my it's I have these um subconscious bias across the board
We all do.
I don't think is going away. So that's why I mean, like, if a person is a former Klans member, then can they actually how reformed can they be?
Well, I'm gonna go with the assumption that if he was a former Klans member, he was never around black folks. Right. That's just you know what I'm saying. So-called black folks. Like I gotta start
Yeah.
using it. I gotta remember that one. Um, so I think a lot of people, depending on, and I'm not justifying, I'm not going with it because I thought it was crazy that dude do that, right? Like that's not even my thing. But like I wouldn't embed my. To me, it's not where I couldn't trust a soul.
Yeah.
Even if somebody was like, oh man, I changed my, I would still be hesitant.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
but
That's
they
what I'm
20
saying.
plus years of him leaving everybody behind and
Yeah.
do it. I don't know.
So
I think it's possible because we are all subjected to our beliefs. Like again,
right,
think
right.
even religious, bro. I grew up. We were
That's
at
what
church all
yeah.
the time.
I was just getting ready to go there.
I'm not. That's not for me. I don't knock
Yeah.
anybody that's for it. It's not my thing, right? Like if when I was reading the Bible at 5 years old, bro. I remember my mom telling me you should read the Bible like that, like nonstop. Man, I'm not doing it today. Right? It's just
Right. But even with that, so for me, I'm like, I'm like you. I don't subscribe to any of it at all, right? But that thought, that wonder, it could be depicted as fear in a way. Like it's that what if, because it's so embedded in you, but it's like I know I choose to assert my power of like, nah, I'm not subscribing to that. I think that reduces me. But it's still embedded in me based on how I was
but
indoctrinated.
if you know something in you is wrong, right? Like you at a certain point you get to a point you're like, man, that's fucked up that I used to be that way.
Yeah,
Right? Like I
yeah.
used to do some shit that I would never do today.
Right. So
Like street shit. Like
you
I'm
change your
like
behavior.
and I look at people doing it like, ah, that's fucked up. I understood why I did it, but I don't know why you doing it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
No, it is a weird. It's a weird ass feeling when you see it through a different lens and you can't relate to it still in a certain way.
man, you know what? I'm gonna shift a little bit. Bro, cats my age still in the streets is crazy. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not like it's crazy. I'm like, bro, I'm damn near 50, bro. You should be on the tail end of trying to get off of work. You know what I'm saying? To get closer, you closer to retirement than you are You know what I'm saying? Just starting. So I see, like, I see cats that I used to run with, and they still in the streets, and I'm like, damn. And they carry themselves in a very street manner, and I'm like, how do you function as a 45-year-old, 50-year-old man still street talking? Like, I don't understand how that, like, that's just weird to me.
So let's compare that against the music that we will be attracted to. Because if you grew up on street music, like I would still, I went to a concert where it was Snoop, Too Short, Ice Cube, and E40, right? And I'm vibing to the music, but I do not rock with that shit no more. You know what I mean?
Entertainment. Listen, bro. I was in Denver and Detroit yesterday. Riding back, I'm bumping Tupac "Death Around the Corner." I'm
Now
in the
Tupac
car,
different though.
but I'm in the
Tupac
car going, bro, and I'm just like, but this is just entertainment for me, right? Because it's like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going with.
But it's only entertainment to you because if you actually
It was
lived it, it's
only entertainment
but
for
is
my
it-
whole life, right?
But not if you was actually in the streets. It was.
But I wasn't in the streets because of the music, right? I was in the streets
No,
because I had a purpose.
but you was in the streets though. Still,
I was in the streets.
Street
The
shit is
reason
street shit.
matters, right?
The reason matters for you, but I'm saying that you was that's a culture within itself, right? So it's not in the people. Some you didn't express that through artistry, but you still come from that same cloth, right? So for
Understandable.
a person that's like, let's say a Tupac or whatnot, it wasn't entertainment. It's just
That was his life entertaining us. But I'm talking
Right.
about South Bend motherfuckers, bro. We ain't going through that, right? We not doing that. I'm not even finna pretend South Bend is like Compton or some shit like that, bro. You know what I'm
Bruh.
saying? You have to try to stay in that life at this age. Like,
No.
it's like when I was younger.
I think anywhere though, not just in South Bend.
Well, I'm just saying you have to try to stay in that life. If you're in I give certain areas, New Orleans, Compton, certain shit, the areas like you can't get out unless you move, right? Because the neighborhood ain't gonna let you out, right? I had a cousin, man. We went down to New Orleans once, man, and he lived in this little town, Harvey, whatever. It was kind of wild. And he was like, bro, we just go inside before it get dark. I'm like, what you know what I'm saying? What that mean? He's like, if you out here at night, you subject to getting got. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's just a different environment.
That's anywhere, bro.
But bro, I'm talking about the whole fucking city. Like they just, if you out at night, you on some street shit. But I'm saying is you have in South Bend, bro. You gotta try to stay in that life as you age.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily debating that aspect of it. I guess I was just challenging the comparisons.
Okay, I mean,
You know,
I was
but-
gonna say I don't look down on it, but that would be false. I do because there's opportunities today that were never present 20 years ago.
Like
right?
what? Give me an example.
The internet. I can get on the internet
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Like I'm on right now. We on YouTube right now. We on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm streaming to Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it right now.
Yeah.
You can get on all this shit and learn whatever you want. You can learn Spanish, English. If you don't speak it, you can learn algebra. You can learn anything.
I agree. I can't disagree
Right?
with that. I can't disagree with that.
So the options are unlimited today, right? And again, I'll give you a pass up to a certain age. I'm gonna break the age to 25. 25, you got to start figuring shit out, right? But you can ruin your life
Man.
long before that.
But that I don't know because we talking about today's 25-year-old is very different.
But the 20, I'm saying I'll give you a pass. I'm talking about the cats our age right now. I gave you up to 25, right? We
Yeah.
had a different,
Yeah.
like we've seen enough bad shit to know like this shit ends one or two ways
Yeah.
for most of us.
No, that's true.
Right? Like I guess my thought process, and maybe this is what guided me is at a certain age, bro, if you have to do any time, 10 years, if you're 45, you get a 10-piece, bro, you coming out and getting coffee at a discount from McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers out here risking life in prison or 17 years because that's the same shit when you know what I'm saying? 50.
Okay, so explain the difference, and I'm just challenging the narrative here.
Mm-hmm.
Explain the difference between that as a preference versus a person just preferring white women. You know what I mean?
Because one of them don't take you to jail or lead to death damn near every time. I mean, that's a hell of a different preference, bro. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I mean, I could reach a little bit, but I ain't.
we can reach and say it happens.
Yeah,
But I would
okay.
say upwards of 80% of motherfuckers in the streets
Yeah.
is going to end up dead or in jail.
Definitely
right?
a different world. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So that
100%.
preference requires you to get up and actively break the goddamn law every day.
100%.
And look out for cats trying to stop you from breaking the law, and look out for cats who are trying to take advantage of you in the street. It's like for me at this age, bro, I would be too worried about all the other shit that I know, right? I know people ain't shit, and I know if I got too much and he don't have enough, well, he trying to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this then. Have you, knowing, you yourself, have you always had what you would consider somewhat of an open mind?
I've had an open mind, absolutely. I had no choice. I've done a lot of different shit in my life where I had to have an open mind. But I also expect a certain level of common sense out of everybody. Not everybody has it.
Right. Well, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you've always been a person who, okay, what I mean, if I use myself as an example, even when I was when I was selling drugs, right? I always thought outside of that. Like, I knew
100%.
this cannot be, but I still did it, right? So I can't. So that for that reason and that reason alone, I can never be judgmental in that, But
You can be judgmental just because you did it don't mean you're wrong, right?
right, no,
Don't mean everybody else is right. Like I did
no,
dumb
I'm
shit.
just saying. I just say I can't speak above it. I have to express some level of humility. If
Oh, no doubt, right? So
but what I'm saying is, I've always had the ability. I just born naturally had the ability to think outside of whatever space I was in. I don't think that all people have that though.
I can agree with you because to a certain extent, I mean, when I did it, I remember going to my brother. I'm like, listen, man, I don't see another way for me to get out of this situation. Had kids at 18, had a kid at 18. I said, I'm doing this so my son don't have to see the shit I saw growing up. But I also went to the library because that's how old I am. We didn't have fucking internet. And I looked up the laws to see what's the maximum amount of time I'll get for getting caught with this, this, and this. And I accepted.
That's what I'm saying. You're able to think past what
But bro,
was right in front of you.
I was with people. I'm giving them the same knowledge I got. Like, dude, listen.
But you had already seen something different. What I'm asking did you always have vision?
I always wanted more than what I had because I put myself. My father also showed us a lot of shit, right? So
Yeah,
I got to see shit, but I had vision outside of, like, the hood was never where I wanted to stay.
Right. If you say, okay, the fact that you said that, hey, I got kids, I got a son, I don't want him to see what I saw, right? That's vision already. You thought past and outside of what you even had experienced.
Right.
I don't think that a lot of people have that ability.
See, I got more faith than people, I think, and that's probably my problem, right?
But
Because I told a couple of my homies, I'm like, bro, I got more faith in you than you do.
Why?
Right? Like,
Why do you think that is?
because I am a firm believer of if I can do it, you can do it too.
Because
right?
you have vision. Right?
I'm just saying, I'm a firm believer of it, right? And I've had that conversation with motherfuckers, and they like, well, man, just because you did it don't mean I can. I'm like, bro, do you hear what you're saying? Like, we create the environment, bro, of whatever situation.
Exactly. We create our own realities.
Right. If I constantly say I can't do it, I won't do it. Right.
No,
like,
no, you actually can't do it then.
Right, I can't. If I say, listen, this is too hard, I'll use a diet as an example, right? If I say I know I can't lose weight, I'm not going to try that hard, which means I'm not going to lose weight, which is going to reinforce my belief that I can't do it. It's too hard. So yes, I understand, but I think when, again, I look at and again, I'm different, I guess. My guy told me I'm an anomaly. I don't like to think that. I like to think we are fully capable. It's up to us whether we want to. But I look at something, I'm like, well, if this dude can do it, I can do it too, regardless. Now, I got some limits. I ain't gonna sit here and pretend I can't dunk just because you can dunk. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't. So you don't think that you're an anomaly?
I don't think I don't want to be, right? I want to be normal, right? I want to be. I want everybody to do better. I've seen cats do better.
I understand that for real. I understand that more than you might even realize. But what I'm saying is, you looking at your life, looking at where you came from and where you're at now, you don't believe that you're an anomaly.
I believe that I did shit that other people are capable of and other people can do, and they just chose not to. Right? There's a whole lot of shit I didn't do right. Right? So I did a lot of the same wrong shit.
I'm saying even when you was doing the wrong shit and you look back in all the close calls, you can see right now, man, all it took was this one thing to go this way,
man, and everything different. I
Right. To
think we
me,
don't.
that's an anomaly because you know how many niggas it didn't go that way for?
Yeah, well, now a lot of people had no. It wasn't their choice, right? Some shit they went left when they should have went right, and some crazy shit happened. But I think the biggest problem most of us have is we didn't look long term, right? And that's like I remember going to the mall, one of my homies, bro, and he's like, man, bro spent $200 on socks at the mall. This is in the '90s, bro, right? He like, I'm looking at him like, I have $50. My limit been $50 on shoes my whole life, so I can't spend 200 on socks.
Yeah.
I've had one pair of shoes that cost $100 some, tennis shoes, and my girlfriend bought them when I was in high school, and I'm like, don't never do that shit again. That's a complete waste of money. I can't ball.
I feel you on that.
But so like I don't think we look long term because common sense says I can't do this shit forever, right? And I gave people the opportunity. I had a younger cousin and another homie, and I'm like, man, listen, this is the exact words I told him. I'm like, listen, man, I'm gonna start fucking with this IT shit. Let's get this white man money, right? And what I meant by that is people we knew didn't make a whole lot of money, right? And the people we did know that got paid good money at a job were white people. Well, grew up in the hood, bro. I didn't see doctors and lawyers and you know what I'm saying, business owners and shit like that. So, and they both was like, man, fuck that. We getting paid in these streets. And I'm just like, damn, bro, your vision is that short. Now, fast forward 20 years later, I remember running into my cousin at the barbershop. He was like, man, I wish I would have listened to you. I said, it ain't too late. Because I used to ask him, what is it you want to do? And then go do that shit. You got the money to invest in yourself. But I don't know.
But
So
that's what I'm saying. They don't. So if we compare it to where the conversation started initially, I think that these men literally cannot see past their experiences, right? So they reduce themselves. They try to reduce their environment or their experiences to, man, it's black women. They try to project it on the black women when it's like if you think that way, then you don't have the vision to sustain in a relationship that you act like you want. You don't.
So let's talk about values in relationships and people dating people who are above or below, as people say, they're dating market value. I hate that fucking term. Reality is reality, right? I think all women should have a standard in dating. Like this should be a baseline. Like when I was younger, you had to do certain shit, right? You couldn't just
we know that's them days are
over, right?
Right, yeah.
But right now, a lot of dudes are mad at chicks because the chicks don't meet a certain standard, and they're like, well, they want a man that's like this, this, and this. And my question is, if I walk into a room and there's 1,000 people in this room, but only 2 of them appeal to me, why do I care about the other 998? Like, I don't give a shit. Right? I tell people, like, I think we spend too much time focusing on who doesn't meet our status or our stand. Right. So I'm gonna phrase it this way. I use this with my guy because he kept we would go, man, women need to do this, women need to do that. I'm like, listen, bro, there's a difference between preference and control. And I'm gonna explain it to you. To me, this is how I explain it to him. To me, preference is I like blue shirts. Right? That's my preference. So I go to JCPenney, they don't got no blue shirts. I leave, I go to Sears, I go to whatever's Walmart until I find me a blue shirt. That's preference.
Yeah.
Right? Control is when I walk into JCPenney, don't see any blue shirts, and I start screaming at everybody else, man, don't fuck with nothing but blue shirts. Every other shirt don't matter. Right? Like, that's how we are today. A lot of us as men, like, don't fuck with single moms, don't do this, don't do that. Like, that's not my shit. But
it's projection.
Right. But if it worked for you, it worked for you. Right? And I found myself swinging back around, right? Because it was a point where I was like, nah, nobody should fuck with a single mom. Now I'm back to like, you know what, bro, for the betterment of the community, and if your situation matches, everybody ain't going. You got to work with the math, bro. You got to work with the math. I understand that men having children and women having children are different shit. I also understand you got to put some limits on it. 3, 4 baby daddies is insanity to me. But if you got 3, 4, 5 baby mamas, shit, that's a match made in heaven. Shit, the Brady Bunch came together and they had stepkids and shit.
Hell no. No, y'all need to stay away from each other. Y'all need to stay far away from each other.
Man, you can stay with each other and stop fucking with everybody else.
No, just stop fucking.
That too. Shit, that ain't gonna never happen. That ain't gonna never happen.
Okay, so let's just accept. Okay, so we're gonna say that then we know that we're accepting this reality. That we created that reality. This is never going to happen. Then this is what it is. We're going to deal with men who get online and say that black women ain't this and black women ain't that. White women is women because of that mindset that it's never going to happen. We're never going to get control hypersexuality in this society.
You know what's crazy though is I think it's a way that, like when I was younger, we had everybody was having. I think we had more sex, right? I think now you have more. You have people who have more sex, but you have less people having sex. There's a lot of dudes now who can't get shit, bro. Like
Hold
everybody.
on. Say that again.
It's a lot of people now who cannot have sex. I think there's a smaller number of people that are sexually active today, right? And what I mean by that is, it's a lot of people who want to be sexually active, but they can't get a woman. Or they, you know what I'm saying? Oh, bro. Like
with today's women?
With today's women, right? And
Wow.
I had to research it. Why? Because they're unwanted, right? Like how it was explained to me, right? And I don't subscribe to this shit, but reality is reality.
Okay.
Women have access to men all over the world now, right? All over the town. Get on a woman can post a picture on Facebook and shit, 35, 45 cats from different areas can fly her out, which makes it difficult for a motherfucker with nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of, and this to me goes to who you shooting at though, right?
Yeah.
If you are an average cat and you shooting at a chick that is getting everybody else shooting at her, you're not gonna win. Even if them dudes that's fucking with her is on some let me fly you out, smash you, and send you home.
Yeah.
You mad that she ain't not doing that and fucking with you when reality is probably a chick at the job that would love to be your motherfucking woman, but you ain't looking at her either. Right? I think it's a cycle of everybody looking like, let's say if I'm a 5, I think I'm a 7. Right? I think that's where we at with people. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody thinks they're a little better than they are. Right? And I'm all for confidence and courage, but you have to be you have to be realistic. Right? You got to be realistic, bro. If you got 5 kids, you can't get mad at a chick that don't want to date a motherfucker with 5 kids. Like she deserves. I'm the type of man. Or hold on, let me switch the whole good guy shit, bro. Men don't get to determine what a good man is, bro. Just like women don't get to determine what a good woman is.
Hold on. So I think
men do not get to determine what a good man is, right? Because we not dating men.
You think that's interesting? Let's unpack that.
Okay, a woman can't tell me she's a good woman. Because she's a good person. Let me clarify. When I say man and woman, I mean from a dating perspective, not from a humanity perspective. You can be a great person and know you're a great person. You don't do anything wrong.
I know what you're saying. So okay, so when you see the banter of women saying shit like, man, a real man would do this, or a real man would you believe?
Now she added real. No, she added real. That's a different statement. A good man is a collective man that has good features that women are looking for. I'm not talking bust downs. I'm talking about decent women that women we determine are decent.
Okay.
Right? The women that we would want as decent humans, right? We would want to have as our girlfriends, our wives, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Yeah.
If a woman says a real man does this, she already out. Whatever. Right? Because the real man. I don't do the whole a real man steps up. Like a real man is born with a penis and grows up and goes through puberty, and that's that.
So correct me if I'm wrong. I think what you're saying. So what you're asserting is that women who qualify, as what we would deem as quality women, they are, given that they are qualified, they have the ability to set the standard on what is acceptable as a standard for a good man.
Absolutely.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. I want to clarify that, right? A woman can't be like, I'm a good woman, because I see chicks all the time. I'm a good woman.
Yeah.
You're not. You're unwanted. And I can easily go down about 15, 20 reasons why you're not. You're a great person, but you made some decisions that men prefer not to deal with.
Yeah.
Right?
I actually have to. We have to agree with that. We
don't choose men. We choose women and vice versa, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like so I be having this conversation with one of my homies. Oh man, it's way more good, man. I'm like, what makes you think they're good dudes, bro? Have you dated one? Right? Oh, well, he says he wants to be a father. A lot of people want to be a father to that baby drop. A lot of people want to be a mother to that baby drop. Bro, baby's not easy.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Babies ain't easy. It'll shake you up.
Man, like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucker.
And so we have these expectations of people that are based on other people's talking about these expectations, but nobody actually living, right? And you know, it's the Fresh and Fit cats, bro. I don't know if you follow them, but I don't follow them that much. But the
I don't.
one,
I was kind of interested in the, for a while because they was coming down that pipeline of like, the Kevin Samuel, that wave. Even though it's there's differences, but they caught my algorithm for a while. But
so I watched this shit, bro. Before I started doing this podcast shit, I delved into all that shit, and I would sit down and look at this shit and be like, these motherfuckers fake, right? I would tell my guy, 'cause he's like, man, Fresh and Fit. I'm like, nah, bro, they fake. Well, the Fresh cat, the little darker one, little shorter dude, ended up knocking up they said she was a escort, right? Like, bro, you talk all this shit and you hitting an escort raw, right? Like, there's nothing, like, bro, and you was dating her type shit? Like, that don't make no sense to me. So, all the shit, like, a lot of these dudes are talking, they don't live that shit. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people, man. The internet is not reality for a lot of us.
I agree 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
You have people talking all this shit, and I support capitalism, I support entertainment, make your money, right? But realize that dudes ain't giving you good information because they looking out for you. They giving you information they know you want to hear. It reinforces your situation.
Yeah.
Right? Because let's keep it real, bro. If you're doing good with women, you're not on a podcast talking about how to get women. Right? And the same thing with a chick. If you got a good man, you're not on a podcast talking about how to get a good man. Right? You got one.
Yeah. I just
right?
think the world is, I ain't gonna say the world, but I think America for sure is just dumber now than
I can't even disagree. I can't disagree, bro. And I'd have been all around this motherfucking globe. I can't disagree.
like,
Right? I will say that women of a lot of other countries are more typically traditional, but they also have to be. A lot of them, they can't earn a decent living. They can't provide for themselves, right? So if you want to get provided for, you got to meet a certain standard.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? I mean, let's be real, right?
Yeah.
I've been to countries where women can't even drive. So you don't want to hoe out, right? You don't be to get nowhere.
Yeah.
So yes, I think women are more traditional in a lot of other places, but then again, this is what I say to my guys who be like, oh man, I'm going to Colombia. First off, you're going to Colombia's host city, bro. I don't know if you know, right? Whole country. I'm not even going to say host. Bro, Colombia is where cats go to trick off. Like, it's some of the most beautiful women on earth, and it's not a very well off financial country, right? So brothers land with, and you look like you're a millionaire by standard. If you land there, you make $50,000 a year here, right?
Are the women healthy?
Beautiful, bro. Like,
are they healthy though?
When you say healthy, I don't know, because I can't speak to the. I'm gonna say it's probably got a high ass STD rate if I had to take a guess.
That's what I mean. I know they say that a lot about the Philippines as well.
And the women walk around in the shit that we would. This is the shit that cracks me up. That we complain about the chicks here doing the shit the chicks there do, right? I will say they look way the fuck better over there. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend.
That's what I'm saying. Yes,
they look way better. But if you don't like a hoe, you don't like a hoe no matter where you go. It's just you can't get the hoes here, right?
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
You can look past hoe shit if they're easy on the eyes.
But can you though? Like, that's what I'm saying, bro.
No, I'm just saying. I'm speaking as a man, like that we're visual creatures. Now you
right on some knockdown
like,
shit.
Yeah, I'm saying of course, if you a sensible nigga, you're a sensible nigga. You like this is it. This is all this is. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not,
bro. I see. I'm not cut out for that. I'm a pussy eater. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't go eat no public.
Nah,
right? Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I be wanting to ask them if I don't be on their pimp. Like, bro, you be eating that shit?
Yeah.
Right? Like, because it's crazy. But nah, man. I don't know. It's just I think if you willing to up and move, like I was telling my homie, I said, bro, if you willing to up and move out of the country, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of places better in America. We got some fucking freedoms here. I ain't trying to give up. I'm gonna keep it real. Shit, we can do this shit and talk shit about the president or anybody else and not worry about fucking going to jail.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm like, bro, it's some beautiful traditional Muslim chicks out here. If you really about trying to join a different culture, right? Like, there's some beautiful, perfectly fit, very traditional.
But is it worth it?
I mean, if you are going to change everything about you, because that's what you're doing when you up and move. If you move from the United States to Thailand or Philippines or some shit like that, bro, you've changed everything.
But you don't think that's different than changing your?
I mean, it's different because you going into some different shit. But the explanation I get is, well, I want a family. I'm willing to invest into the culture. Cool. Right? You invested into the culture. I'm just saying you can get that shit how bad do you want that shit?
Yeah, I think it just wasn't worth it to me. I
It
think
ain't on my list of shit I wouldn't do.
as a man, I think the part of a key to life as a man is like being a whole person by yourself. And then once you reach that point, then you know that there's nothing that you want to discover in any relationship that you can't discover outside of a relationship.
100%.
But yeah, I'm really am interested in like a real conversation, not a argumentative, banter of really what is the psychology behind how you get to a point to where you can say the women of your own culture are beneath other women. You know what I mean? Like just like how do you get to that? How do you get there?
I don't know. So I think how a lot of times it happens is they start throwing the stats out, and I'm a data guy, right? I'll be honest as shit. When you look at every culture of women, right, and you look at the negative stats, we lead that culture. Our women lead that category. But if you look at who's right above them, is us, right? So that's what I tell my guy. I'm like, bro, imagine running a race with 13 motherfuckers, and you are second to last talking shit about the person behind you. Like that's what we look like doing that shit. Like there's nobody below them and nobody below us but them.
But
right?
there are also so many different factors that contribute to all these
100%.
marriages and all these biases.
100%.
So, I mean, it's and if you live, even if you never went anywhere outside of America, you know that there are other cultures across other cultures. There are these subgroups of people that are just as
The outcasts.
like
we just don't outcast our outcasts. Right? Let's just give you what we don't.
right, and so it's an accountability factor there as well.
100%.
I'm still just interested. Like, okay, I'm not saying that these men don't have valid points as it relates to the condition of so-called black women, right? I'm just saying that how do you get to a space to where you say literally, like you really buy into that, man, if you get any other woman outside of this woman, you winning.
Right. That's the shit I can't
Crazy to me.
I can't subscribe, bro.
I just have to. I want to understand. I just got to hear it. I got to hear it to where because I'm willing to listen to it, so I can just understand. I'm not going to agree with it ever.
But you open and listen.
Yeah.
So I'm biased. I'm biased as hell in this aspect, and this probably goes to back to I believe if I can do it, anybody can do it type shit. I feel like men are responsible. Every time I see a woman that failed, I can find a man that let it happen. Her father, right? That's how I look at shit. Because the difference between I'm gonna take a step back. I saw something that said weak men create masculine women and strong men create feminine women. And I can't disagree, bro. And what I mean by that is you're doing the shit necessary as a man, father. Yeah. I'm talking about a father, not a boyfriend. By the time she get the boyfriend, chances are she's already set on how she gonna be with minor adjustments. If you own your shit as a father, you stop the bullshit in its tracks, right? You hopefully are showing her what a decent. I'm hoping she's looking at mom or stepmom or whomever, and saying that's what I feel like is a good man, right? Again, because it ain't our decision to make, but so I put a lot of that on fathers, and the conversations me and some guys have, like, well, man, what happens when a chick chooses to have a baby by a bum, blah blah blah. Listen, she's got 9 months. Well, not even a full 9. That's bullshit. She's got a certain amount of time to decide if she want to have that baby, right? And whether we like it or not, that's her choice. But once that baby is born, you have to choose every day not to fuck with that kid, bro. Like that's like you have to wake up and say, yeah, I'm not fucking with my kid today either. Until you've done it so long that the shit ain't even in your head. But to me, again, that fault, there's exceptions. I got some homies going through some shit, trying to get access to their kids in the court system.
That's why
those are some exceptions.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
That happens. I got a homie we've been fighting that shit for some years.
I can't even say as exceptions at this point. They're different situations.
They're different situations, right? It's a lot of situations.
But I get what you're saying though.
But I just look at because I feel like we have more power, right? We do more shit. We are the protectors.
I think we have more. I think we have more influence if we assert that influence. So I do think it's an abundance of niggas who they don't have any fight in them. So they were going to give up. Unfortunately, it was a child they gave up on, but they were going to give up
no matter what
anyway.
Right? Yeah, I'm with you, and that's and I think that's what leads to
I think that that's the response, like you said. I think it does go back to the responsibility of a father to set that standard with his daughter. Hey, the only way for you to there are no guarantees in this
Now
shit.
you do everything right, she still can fuck up.
Right. But what I'm saying is, I want my daughters to understand that, hey, in order for you to be able to forgive, you're not going to be able to forgive yourself if you literally set a trap for yourself. Meaning, you don't. This require this any man to demonstrate all the things I showed you as a man, like, in our entire lives before you even take a chance with him. If you do that and he ends up flipping the script, then
You did everything right.
You can forgive yourself. It's on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how the chips fail. But if you get caught up on some other shit, then that is absolutely
that's on you.
your fault.
So
Like,
I'm in this dating relationship group, and I see cats constantly talk, and I'm in there for the purpose of podcasting. Before somebody be like, "What the fuck?" Right? Dudes always talking about what chicks bring to the table. So I flipped the script. I asked the men. I said, "What we hold women to a different standard with the number of sex partners they have, the number of baby fathers they have." I said, "What is it that makes you worthy of a woman's body and access to potentially her womb?" And boy, I call hell for that one. Oh, sex is a mutual exchange, blah, blah. I said, it's not, bro. We carry very little risk outside of an STD when it comes to sex, right? If a woman gets pregnant, she can die during childbirth. There's all complications. She get stuck with the fucking kids. So I'm like, what reason, especially knowing we're going to judge her, right? Because let's just lay it on the table. Most of us ain't taking a chick and trying to make her a wife if she done slept with 100 motherfuckers, right? Can we agree on that one?
yeah, we agree.
Right. So with us agreeing that the number of men she sleeps with matters, right? What is it that we should expect for them? What is it that we should offer to get access to that? What is it about us, right? Other than mutual attraction, because if it's just mutual attraction, we shouldn't be mad at them for having a high-ass body count, right? We're expecting something more than just attraction. And I asked that question, and motherfuckers got mad at me, right? Like, what we supposed to bring? We supposed to, if she like us and we like her, I'm like, bro, but we're going to judge her. If she like 15 people last year, she smashed all 15, she found 15 people attractive.
Okay,
right?
so let me. I want to make sure I'm understanding you. Are you saying that for the mere fact that men want to hold women to this standard of, I guess essentially celibacy, you know what I mean? And,
damn near.
Then you need to qualify as a man that demands that type of sacrifice.
What qualifications should we have to be able to get access to it, right? So we can't just say, well, if I'm attractive and I got game, she should let me smash. Because no, you ain't gonna, it's gonna be 1,000 of y'all, right? And then we're gonna judge her different. So like you just said a few minutes ago, you said, I want to teach my daughter to make the right decisions, to choose a man that's gonna be, and then if he flipped the script, he flipped the script. That man that you trying to create, that standard that you're trying to create for your daughter, right? That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of men don't think that standard should exist for them, right? But they want that standard to exist for that woman, right? They want that woman not to have had a whole lot. So I'm like, what do we think to ourselves as justification for a woman to give up her body? Like,
I think
other than we just want something.
I think it's hard for a lot of men to really comprehend that concept, because for those of us that are that naturally, we're not, like it's a dead issue for us, because it's like I'm already him, so I'm okay with it being a standard, because I can meet any standard.
Because I meet the standard, right?
Right. So it doesn't matter to me if you say it's a standard. My issue becomes that with women, like when you create this standard and you try to hold me to the standard after you let all these bum ass niggas slide.
But if I see, and this is where I said body count is not as important as who hit versus how many.
It's the same thing that we say.
One bum is too many for me, bro.
Right, but I'm only saying all these bum ass, because people, that's how we think. We don't think about quality, we think about quantity. Right. But yeah, absolutely. And I can speak to this like 100% based on my own personal experience. It literally became like I was less interested in who else you ever slept with. It was when I seen the last person you dealt with,
I'm cool on
I'm
you.
like, dude, like, how? You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna keep it real. I would look at me like I'm too good for that. If that's your standard of dudes, I'm too good for you, right? And it can sound conceited, it can sound arrogant, it can be whatever. But I also respect a woman who says, you know what, you slept with her, I could never fuck with you, right? That's your standard.
Yeah, I
right?
think that we don't in this society. That's hard. See, that's when we talk about it, are you when the question is, are you an anomaly or not? I'm saying that if you already had this mindset, that thought, then that's an anomaly because even though I've always thought highly of myself, I was not always mindful of that standard for myself. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like
right,
until
right,
I actually experienced it, and it's like, yeah, in hindsight, I should have never. But then that's
right,
kind
right.
of that can be disrespectful based on my position. So I don't really
No,
take
I'm
it
with
past
you,
there, right? But
and I'm not like I said, I'm not judging nobody for no shit. Let me see.
no,
Hold on, I think somebody
I
might
get
want
what
to
you're
jump
saying.
in. Let me. Oh, and I'm sitting this shit. I know you bumping up on time, so
Yeah,
let me.
yeah.
But I did want to let me invite this chick in. I did want to what I want to say. I wanted to talk, and we. So you gotta run. So I ain't gonna hold you up. I'm gonna stay on though, and I'm gonna try to invite somebody in. I wanted to talk about this study going around about women being more. They'd rather be alone in the woods with a bear than a man they don't know. And a lot of motherfuckers, a lot of dudes hurting over that one, bro. Because I think for them, it gives them the impression that, you know what I'm saying, she doesn't trust them, or and it's a reality, bro. I don't. I'd rather be alone with a motherfucking bear than a man too. I'm gonna keep it fucking real, because I know with a bear, I may never have to kill his ass, right? With a
I
man, at
mean,
some point, I know I'm gonna have to kill his motherfucker to protect my damn self.
I'll say
Um,
this. I'll say this about that, and and I'll leave it there. It's like I think that if anybody who allows these type of hypotheticals to impede on their emotional state, then there's some kind of inadequacy that exists in you. You know what I mean?
hundred
Because
percent.
I know women, right? So I know I will never allow the delusion of women to impede on my emotional state in that way. Like I don't give a damn if 100 women said that, it would just be like, that's some shit that 100 that you women would say. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, right.
it doesn't like because that's just me. I don't understand how that could be how that can hurt a man. You know what I mean? How that can piss a man off. That type of because number one, like this is purely 100% hypothetical. It would never happen,
It's 100% hypothetical, right? It never happened. My
right?
boy hit me earlier. He was like, "Man, you on some bullshit." Then he talked to a chick. He said, "Man, I was at I don't know where the fuck he was at." He's like, "I asked the chick the same shit. She told me a bear." He said, "So I had to give you points." I'm like, "Bro, it's I mean, here's what it boils down
She
to.
said that because she knew your ass it was going to affect you. You gave, you know what I mean? That's
Here's what it boils down to, bro. This is what the chick told me. She know worst case scenario, a bear is going to attack her and maul her and kill her, right? A
okay.
man can hold your ass hostage and do fucking horrible shit to you for the next 18 months or however long.
Oh,
There's
no,
shit worse than
okay.
death,
No, all
right?
right.
And
Now,
once it was said that way, we don't, we also protect our children and our wives from men, right? Our girls are, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like we're
yeah.
not. Very rarely am I out looking to see what kind of woman gonna be a problem for me and my kids and my wife, right? I'm never looking for that. I didn't teach my daughter to be aware of her surroundings when she's walking to her car in the middle of the night because some girls might be out there. It's still a risk, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't go places that have too many motherfucking men because I know somebody's gonna act up,
Yeah,
right?
I get it. I get
So
it. I get it. No, and when you look at it like that, like yeah, it's hard to argue from that perspective, but it's like it's so many nuances though that we can insert into that conversation that it can go either way. But because I'm more interested in like where did this even come from? You know what I mean? Like
it was just a regular kind of some shit just happened. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think see I think shit like that, those are the traps that are set for humanity and we just fall right into them.
Right into the shit, bro.
Like it's like, man, but okay, you know what I mean. I know one thing. The part of the conversation where we were talking about the relationships, between men and and women. I mean, and their mothers, like that's important. We gotta pick up there.
A hundred percent.
We gotta pick up there for sure.
So I know you got to run, fam. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you drop. I'm gonna just sit here and talk some little bit of shit, and then anybody want to join in can join in. I had a bunch of comments on Facebook, but I don't know why they didn't pull in, so I didn't read none of them. So I apologize if somebody commented and we didn't get to them. I know you got some shit to do tomorrow. Again, just congratulations, bro, on your, you know what I'm saying, on your son achieving that that milestone, bro. Because that's some
Absolutely.
shit that we need to congratulate and expect more of. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you, man. And
I know.
we back at it. We back at it on Sunday, man.
Absolutely, man. So anybody still watching, I'm gonna stay live for a few minutes and talk a little bit of shit. Anybody want to jump in, jump in. All right, peace
now.
out, bro.
Peace.
All right, let me see here. Let me see. I know I'm here. Hey, if you want to, matter of fact, I'm gonna drop it in the on the Facebook page. So if you want to join, hit this link right here. Hold on. I'm gonna bring in anybody that want to bring in, that want to come in. I want to talk about this bear shit. You know what I'm saying? This man versus bear. So let me see here. So I'm gonna keep it open. I'm gonna kind of just chill. Somebody want to jump in, hit that link that I just dropped on my Facebook. Well, I'm gonna put it on my regular Facebook too. It's on my F&I host page, but let me throw it a couple other places too. I'm gonna throw it in the Facebook group and somewhere else. Let me see here. I'm gonna drop it in the group as well. And Portia, if you checking it out, I sent you an invite. You know what I'm saying? So just jump in and let me know. All right. Well, I'm just sitting here talking to my goddamn self because that's what I'm about to do. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that man versus bear shit that I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Some women post or talk about, and I know a lot of dudes are highly upset about women saying they'd rather be alone with a motherfucking bear than with a man. But I'm gonna keep it real. I understand this shit, right? As a man who understands that men are motherfucking dangerous sometimes, you can't pick them, right? You can't pick which ones. You can't line up 100 men, regular looking ass men, and determine which one's gonna be good, which one's gonna be bad. I remember Muhammad Ali saying something in regards to white people. He's like, if it's, and forgive me, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact words, but he's like, if it's 10,000 snakes coming your way and 1,000 are good, do you open the door, let them all in, and try to hope the ones that come in are good, or do you close the door and just keep everybody out? And I think that same shit applies when it comes to this, this hypothetical situation. So that's just my thought process on it. So I'm gonna kind of hang out a little bit, sip my little motherfucking drink. Excuse my language for whoever don't like my language. But if you want to jump in, either message me on Facebook, either on my F&I post or on something else. Hang on a second. I'm reading a couple comments here. Hey, Robin, I don't know why you said my co-host was stressing you out. What happened? Hey, if it's something y'all want us to talk about, if it's something you want to see covered, either comment on the YouTube channel, comment on the Facebook channel. Facebook's being a little bit weird, so it won't let me display the shit in the group no more. I don't know why that happened, but Facebook is just being weird as shit right now. So I can do my Facebook page, I can do YouTube, I can do X. I probably should drop some links to that for the people that are on Twitter. I can also do Instagram, but for some reason, Facebook is just not letting me stream to the group no more. They stopped it for a lot of people. So I tell you what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pause this. Let me see who wants to jump in. I'm gonna bring some other people in, and then you know what I'm saying, start the live back up. So I'm gonna kill this. Anybody who wants to get in it, hit me up, let me know, and I'll restart the live. Peace.